Hey guys, what is up? This is Matthew Davis, me once again, and welcome back to another Top 10. Alright, so if you had to ask me what my favorite video game console of the current generation would have to be, that would have to be the PlayStation 4. And the PlayStation 4's era is starting to end with the PS5 coming out, but you know, let me just say the PS4 had some amazing games. Not just ones that can be also played on PC or Xbox One, but they managed to knock it out of the park with some amazing exclusive games, and that's exactly what I'm going to be talking about. Still eerie about wanting to get a PS4, but don't know what games to get for it? Well, these are the games that I highly recommend you play if you don't have a PS4 and are planning to get one, and if you do have a PS4 but don't know what the best games out there could be. These are my personal picks. Now, some of your picks aren't going to be on here. This is just my own personal list. But anyways, here are my picks for my top 10 favorite PS4 exclusive games. Now, just to let you know, no remasters like The Last of Us Part 2 or Last of Us Part 2. That game, I would have waited until that game came out, but that game just got delayed, so you know what, I'm just not going to wait. What I meant to say was The Last of Us Remastered. As much as I loved that game and how that game made me want to play more video games, that was originally available for the PS3 at the time. And that goes for God of War 3 or Uncharted, the Nathan Drake collection. So, you guys understand, but anyways, let's get started. Starting off strong with number 10, I am a die-hard horror fan, and I really wanted to check this game out because the premise just looked so interesting. Until Dawn is like Heavy Rain meets Friday the 13th. Heavy Rain is a video game, Friday the 13th is a very popular horror movie franchise. This one, you play as multiple characters, and if you're not careful, some of them might die. You get to decide who lives, who dies, but be careful. If there's a character out there you want there to live, you better be careful what you do, because one wrong move and they might be dead forever. Although there is times where you could just go to a previous save and start over from letting that character die, but you know, it's definitely not an easy game. But you know, it's not like a heavy action game like Resident Evil or Dead Space. It's a slow-paced game, not really focused on combat, more on story and character building. But you know what, that's okay, because this game, it was made for me. That's the best way to describe it. So yeah, check it out if you're a horror fanatic like me and you love video games. Let me just say, there were so many video game movies in 2016, but I did not like any of them. One of them being Ratchet Clank. That movie was, to me, that movie was just so boring, I kind of forgot that it existed. However, the video game, oh my god, that game was so much fun, and totally made up for that. And this game is based off the movie, and the movie is based off the video game series. This game definitely made me want to go back and play the other games. This is my first Ratchet & Clank game, and I really dug it, okay? It's third-person shooting, 3D platforming goodness at its finest. It's funny, much more funnier than the movie. But, you know, if you added those cutscenes are taken right from the movie, and you took all the, you know, slow-paced, you know, boringness out of that movie and just put it right into this game, then it made the game a hell of a lot more better, okay? But I'm done talking about the movie. Let me talk about how good this game is, okay? It's gorgeous to look at, it's colorful, it's a fantastic remake to a beloved video game franchise, and it makes me want to play that beloved video game franchise, which was available for the PS2, has been ported to the PS3 with another PS3 exclusive, but it's a shame that we're probably not going to get another Ratchet & Clank game for quite a while. But, you know, Insomniac Games, the developers of this game, did a great job, and I really had fun with this game. Coming in at my number 8 spot, I have Shadow of the Colossus. Now, yes, I know what you're thinking, but I thought you said no remasters. Okay, yes, I said no remasters, okay, but here's the thing. Remastered is something that has, like, HD in the title, like Resident Evil HD, Wind Waker HD, Last of Us Remastered, like I just mentioned before, or, you know, Ocarina of Time 3D, Majora's Mask 3D, Star Fox 3D. This doesn't have any of those titles in this title. It's just Shadow of the Colossus. Shadow of the Colossus is the full title. There's no HD or anything like that, so that's why I'm putting it on this list. And what a fantastic remake this was, okay? You guys already know Shadow of the Colossus is one of my favorite PS2 games of all time. Not to mention one of my favorite games, like, ever, okay? And this remake truly made that an incredible game and just made it even better. The game looks absolutely gorgeous. The controls are a lot more precise. I did not know when I wanted to get this remake, but when I saw it was available for free on the PlayStation Network, I immediately got it. and I thought that was the perfect time. This game looks absolutely stunning, and it controls a lot better too. If you never got to play the original game on the PS2 or PS3, I recommend getting the remake for the PS4. It's absolutely breathtaking. The only reason why it isn't higher is because it is a remake of an older game, but that's okay because I still think, you know, with the PS4 exclusives out there, I think this game should definitely make the list. Coming in at my number 7 spot is one of the more recent entries on here, Dreams. Ever wanted to make your own video game, but, you know, didn't want to pay a whole amount of money just so you can make the video game? That's okay. Dreams is the game for you. Media Molecule did a great job. They did a great job with the Little Big Planet series, and they did a fantastic job with this. Like I mentioned in my video game review for Dreams, this is a game where you can create your own games, like you can create your own 3D levels, shooters, whatever you want. I think I had more fun playing than I did making because I kind of sucked at making, but that's okay. If you suck at making, just play away. There are tons and tons of levels being created almost every single day ever since this game came out, but, you know, I feel like it's truly a fantastic experience. And I think Media Molecule did a great job. And they made their own levels as well, which they also did a fantastic job with. And, you know, if this game does become a franchise, then, you know, I would be happy to see what would happen next. I mean, it's probably not, but, you know, Dreams is a fantastic game. I mean, if you loved Little Big Planet, I think you're going to love Dreams. If you had to ask me what my favorite Marvel video game would be, that would have to be Marvel's Spider-Man. Let me just say 2018 was a fantastic year for the Spider-Man, and this game truly made Spider-Man a household name. Well, a lot of things made Spider-Man a household name, but this is the game that Spider-Man truly deserves, okay? Sure, it's not available for every single platform, and if you're an Xbox guy but really want to play this game but you're not a PS4 guy, then I don't know what to tell you, because this is the game that fans truly deserved. Sure, Spider-Man 2 was actually a pretty decent movie tie-in video game, believe it or not, but, you know, if I were to play that game, I would definitely say that game might have aged poorly. I mean, I kind of do want to play that game, but I don't think I really need to after playing this. I mean, we got that god-awful amazing Spider-Man 2 game, which I have played, and oh my god, that game was so bad, I just gave it to a friend. And if you're wondering, yes, it was Matthew Bailey. Yeah, but he didn't care. But anyways, for this game, however, it was just amazing, okay? And no pun intended right there, but it's 20 hours of a large open world environment with a really compelling story and an ending that hit me really hard emotionally. And I just wanted to collect every single suit. I just wanted to get every single piece of, like, every single collectible out there. But, you know, this game was truly worth it. It was truly worth the wait. It did not disappoint in the slightest, and is one of the best superhero video games out there, and one of the best licensed games of all time, in my opinion. Alright, we're at the halfway point. Coming in at my number 5 spot, I have Horizon Zero Dawn. I got to play this around Christmas time, just before I got to make my best games of 2017 list, but there were a few other games I think I should have played before I made my best of 2017 list. And I'm probably going to mention another one later down the road, or later during this video. But let me talk about Horizon Zero Dawn. What a game this was. This is the must-play app for the PlayStation 4 of 2017. You have a badass main protagonist, female protagonist, Aloy. She's amazing, okay? I loved playing as her for this 15-hour-long story, and not to mention, if you add all the side quests, it could last like to 30 hours, I don't know. But after I beat the main story, I just wanted to do every single side quest in this large, open-world environment filled with interesting NPCs, a really engaging story, some of the best graphics for the system. This is basically the PlayStation's answer to Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. Well, probably not as big as that game, and probably not as popular as that game. This is basically Breath of the Wild for the PS4. So that's basically what it is, Breath of the Wild for the PS4. If you're not a Nintendo guy, you want to play Breath of the Wild, then sure, there are differences between this and Breath of the Wild, but, you know, Horizon Zero Dawn is still a fantastic game that you should definitely play if you have the system. You know, all the games that I mentioned are actually pretty easy. Are you a really hardcore gamer? Are you a guy that just wants to make it past through everything, but you don't want the game to hold your hand for you? Then Bloodborne's the game for you. Bloodborne. What can I say about Bloodborne? Developers from Software managed to make some of the hardest games of the past decade, and this game is no exception, okay? But if I had to choose what their best game is, I would definitely have to say Bloodborne. Like I mentioned before, I'm a fan of horror, and this has that horror environment. Not really a survival horror game, but it's a hack and slash, action horror adventure. I mean, there's wolves in it, so it kind of reminds me like a werewolf film in London somewhere. Not like American Werewolf in London, because that's more of a horror comedy. And this game isn't funny. No, it is disturbing. There are so many disturbing images out there in this game, specifically the creatures, and the game is so difficult that it might prevent some players to not want to play this game after a while. But every time I manage to make progress in the game, I just love this game even more. And that's what I love about these games, is that the more I get better at the game, I try to get better at the game, the more I just love the game. The more you make progress in this game, and the more that you manage to think through and actually manage to, defeat some of these enemies, that just made me love the game even more, because I was making progress. I'm probably never going to beat this game or any other From Software game, but that does not make me want to stop playing. It makes me just want to play the game even more. I can easily say this is From Software's masterpiece, and we're probably not going to get a sequel, and that's really a shame, because Dark Souls became a franchise, although Demon's Souls was also a PS3 exclusive for the PS3, like I mentioned, but that didn't get a sequel. But, if there isn't a sequel, that's okay, because this game is just enough. Coming in at my number 3 spot, I thought this would remain my number 1 ever since I played it, Uncharted 4: A Thief's End. Oh my god, what a fantastic end to one of the best PlayStation franchises of all time. I mean, Nolan North and Troy Baker in a duo together in the same game, sign me up. I mean, sure, the beginning of this game is kind of slow, but that doesn't hide the fact that I practically loved every single second of the story to the game. I mean, the combat, it is really, really satisfying. It is really fun. And the puzzle solving, it has some really creative puzzles. It's a game that makes you think, with all the clues that you get while you're doing these puzzles. And the story is just so engaging, and all the characters that you loved from the previous games are still just as great as ever. And they just made them a whole lot better in this. Some people consider Uncharted 2 to be the best game in the series. While I agree that's one of their best games, one of Naughty Dog's best games, to me, this was just a fantastic end, and I consider it to be the best of the Uncharted games, in my personal opinion. Coming in at number 2, I'm kind of cheating on here because this game literally just came out, and I literally just did an unboxing of it, but I just spent so much time, and I'm really close to the end, that I think it's just going to end up topping really high on the list. Persona 5 Royale. Now, you guys know how much I loved the original Persona 5. I gave that a perfect score, and once I'm done with this game, I'm definitely going to be reviewing it. I have a review planned out for you guys, but, sure, it's basically the same game, but there's just so much improved in this game. It has a lot more characters, it has more cutscenes, and it has so much stuff that ties in really well with the story. And there's a lot more to the game than I thought there was going to be. And not to mention, I love the game a lot more than I thought it was going to be. And I already loved the original Persona 5, but when I was playing this, I was all like, yep, this game just got better. And all in all, this is probably one of the best, games I played in ever. And Persona 5 is already probably one of my favorite games of all time, but I'm trying to save stuff for my review of the game, so I don't go into full spoilers on what I thought of the game. Not spoil the story or anything, but all I can say is Persona 5 Royale is a fantastic game. It's totally worth the price. But of course, if you're not interested in playing that, then I also recommend the original Persona 5. That's also a really good game, even though it's kind of the same. Alright, here we go. My number 1 best PS4 game of all time has to go to none other than God of War 2018. PlayStation has really done a great job improving their fantastic franchises and just making them better than ever before, and God of War is no exception, okay? Not only is Kratos a father now, and he doesn't have to babysit him, as he's basically a big help throughout his entire journey. He's such a good boy. But God of War has some of the best combat, third-person combat, hack-and-slash combat that I have ever played in a video game. And I love the original trilogy, but this game, I don't know how they did it, but all this emotion and this fantastic story that they added here just made me love the God of War franchise even more, and makes me hope that they do more with this franchise ever since, this game came out in 2018. Because, I just had so much fun with the game. I love the look of the game. I love the combat. I love the boss fights. I love the characters, the new characters that they introduce. I love the way the game is shot, how it makes you feel like it's almost one entire view without having to cut away. I mean, they do cut away a few times, but, God of War 2018 is a true masterpiece and is one of my favorite games of the 2010s, and is easily my pick for the best game on the PS4. Being a PS4 exclusive, that is. And there you have it, guys. This was kind of a hard list to make, probably because, I did not know what order to put these in, but, now that I managed to put them in the order I wanted to put them in, I think I'm pretty satisfied. And it's going to take me a while before I get this video edited, because I have to cut, certain parts, so it doesn't sound like I messed up or anything, but, it's just to make the game, or video a lot better, and to make it, more, more clear. But anyways, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys later. Word out.